Hello, core believers. Welcome back. I am Leonidas. This is Nuclearis. And yes, I am trying out new names. I've done operators. I've done nuclear enthusiasts. We've done visionaries, core believers. Alright, enough of that. So, welcome back. This is episode 5. Last time I kept calling it 5, but it wasn't. It was 4. This is 5. The actually 6th installment, I believe it is. Because I had to split episode 2. But we're calling it episode 5. In this one, the plan is to... I guess I can talk and do stuff at the same time, right? The plan is to... not do that. Resume our game. I'm on now. Here we are. The plan is to get our turbine, which is shipping, last I saw, if I remember right. Our turbine delivered, installed, and then do a loop swap. Right now, loop 3 is up and running. What we want to do is shut that one down, bring loop 2 online, and what I really want to see is if I can replicate some of the bugs some people have been describing in the Discord. When I say Discord, I mean, well, don't know what I ever talk about. It's the official Discord, the Nuclearis Discord. It's not mine. I didn't build it, didn't create it, don't moderate it, don't control it. I just am there. I help participate and jump in and answer questions, get things wrong, let people laugh at me. Sometimes I post pictures. So anyway, we're just taking a look at the reactor state of the plant. Everything looks good. In the last patch, you'd load in and your internal temperature would drop, I don't know, 20, 25 degrees. You'd have to run over and run it back up. But notice how far out my rods are. Personally, I like to get down to 50. Once I hit 50, I'm going to start filtering out boron to be able to control my reactor temperature. And because we're getting close to that point, what I need to do first before I can do that is I need to open a couple manual valves. These ones in particular, right? The ion column inlet and outlet. And so let's take a look. I just want to make sure everything's good. I don't see any issues. Okay, so let's take a look at our demand. Make sure we're on day 1. Estimated. So we're at kind of a low point for the next little while. I think is it gonna drop down one more? I think it goes from 10.3 to 10. So I'm okay with that. At the 1700 hours when it starts to raise back up. So I've got a little time. We'll go triple time. We will walk away from the boiling pot on the stove because, well, that's just how we do things around here. See if AO yells at us. AO, remember, has some changes also. His programming, if you want to call that, has been updated in this patch to where he has personalities. They are activated. I tried to ask the infamous GA how to see that, how to get him to react, and he was cryptic as usual. He said that he just kind of drops, AO will just drop a couple lines on you, like tell you when deliveries are here, or he will just say a couple lines, but he did say that there are some Easter eggs. So, we'll have to wait and see. We're in the chemical room now. We'll activate this one, even though it's activated in the control room. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Activating one, I have found, activates the other. So here's our iron column. And the way that this works, if you're unfamiliar, you have water that comes from the core through here. It gets filtered out. These turn green and have kind of these descending lines like a waterfall feature. It filters out the boron and then it sends the, I don't know, I guess I call it purified, the non-borified water back to the core. And they come through right here, go down, and they loop into the core. So those are those going. We only have one loop install stilled. Our equipment is there for the second one, but again, we're missing that all-important piece, the turbine. Ooh, AO. Sorry, buddy. Oh, look at that. He's upset. He's looking in the corner, but I need him to move so I can get in the elevator. We'll give him a second to... I think I hurt his feelings. There he goes. Back on his way. He's scanning the plant, looking for things. He's checking pipes and conduits. I think he's supposed to scan items too, like machinery as he runs through. Can we see him? Where did he go? I don't know. Might have gone out another door. But I don't see him doing that much. I guess we can... I'm going to go see if we see. Yeah, I guess he did update it because this was 60 something before. So I guess as he runs around, he is checking things. So that's kind of nice. So okay, what I'll be doing throughout this video is skipping the boring parts. So you'll see it cut in, cut back out. Oh, well that's falling nice and fast. All right, so let's go quite a bit here. Let's just go straight to 50. See if I can get that to come up. No, time to filter boron. Let's go. Okay, good thing we opened those pipes, huh? And we're going to start off slow. We're going to do we'll go 15. If there was a bug in the last one, I don't know if it's a bug or a feature or by design, where if you pull too much, or excuse me, you run this filter too high, then you will damage it. And it will start spouting water from the base of it. Let me see if I can pull it up on the camera to show you where. Where is it at here? Do we have chemical room? Internal 9. Whoa. Okay. I think those are. Huh. Well, that doesn't look like. That's outside again. That's where the truck is. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we can't look inside. Oh. Well. Alright, I guess I shouldn't have done that on triple speed, hey? So, we've pulled too much boron, which means we need to insert more rods now, because we are way higher than we want to, and that's going to keep climbing until I add more rods, so let's go 60. Okay, so, word to the wise. Don't do that with your triple speed on. Here we go, making mistakes. Let's see, are we coming back down? We should be, hopefully, little by little. And where's my alarm? Oh, I must have forgotten to set internal alarms. This is why I set artificial alarms. High temp. What did I have it set before? Was it 315? We're going to do 315, which is going to set off alarm as soon as or not as soon as, but after saving it, super high, we'll call that one good. And then I want this one at 85.
Danger alarm.
Yes. I know, but it's because I set it. Remember that setting the alarms does not, or changing the alarms, does not cause any extra damage or anything. It's just when it alerts you. I like to be alerted early so that things like this, it would catch me and stop me so I can say, hey, we need to not do that. We need to catch that and early and keep it from running away. So I'm just going to let that, no, I'm not. I don't like it. Let's put it in at 70. Make it cold. Okay, that'll come down. We'll get it to 300. We'll pull these back out. Then we're gonna have to find kind of a sweet spot for it. Yeah, it's just gonna stay in alarm for a little while, but it's okay because we put it there. So mistakes being made. Everything else looks pretty. Oh yeah. So this went up. Quiz. Anybody know why that went up? From 10, why it went up? Correct, because of our core temperature. Core temperature went up and it became more efficient. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we're coming down. We'll probably slow this descent maybe a little bit. We'll go 65 now. Slow the descent, slow the decrease. I work in aviation, so we talk about, okay, maybe a little bit more. 60. Looking good. That's fine. We'll let it decay or decrease, drop, descend, get lower on its own. And okay, so again, I'll be skipping ahead in things. You'll see little flash screens of me coming back to stuff when it's just so it doesn't get too boring. Okay, welcome back. So I just want to bring you back for the slight increase. If there is one. If there's not, I won't actually bring you back, and we'll keep skipping. Nope, there is. Okay, so we're going to rise to meet this one. So we're going to go up here by 5. 1 here to match, because we always do a 5-to-1 ratio. And then, whoops, this guy will bring down to about 10. Because we're going to overshoot which we don't necessarily want. So we'll try to bring that down a little bit closer to 13. I'm guessing I'm going to be over my 10% wiggle room from the city. Probably get the yellow box. Yep, yellow box. Red, I believe, is when it indicates damage. So hopefully as this comes down with the temperature change, we can look at that. So I also did an AO report, maintenance report. So we'll take a look at that now. Get an idea of how everything is looking. So core wear is at 5%. These are high, which we expect. Also, I wanted to point out real quick, these are just flatlined. When you keep your core at a normal temperature without raising it and lowering it and mess with the rods a ton. I mean, I do mess with the rods, you know, to kind of keep up with. I don't need to pull them out anymore. I could, and the temperature will stay the same because the level of reactivity and my control rods are not matched up, right? As it decays more and more, I need less and less rods, but it's fine because I don't need to raise the temperature. It'll just slowly fall. It was down around, I think, 306.0, and it's only fallen a little bit in the last couple of game hours. So anyway, I just wanted to point out these flat lines. We'll continue with the maintenance report. Nope. So we're 52%, which makes sense based on what our rods are set at. And also, another little tip, thermal factor is a rough general idea of how much of your fuel has been used. Your fuel, when it's at fresh, has a value of 1. So 0.98 means I've used about 2% of my fuel. Has a long way to go to being spent because, again, with these new updates, you cannot remove the fuel until it is, well, not spent, but within 10%. This would have to be at 0.1 before I could remove my fuel core. So let's keep looking. No damage to this engine refers to the control rod engine, the motor. Circuit wear is nice and low. Clone circuit same. Okay. All looking hundreds there. Turbine only at 4%. That's nice. That's less. I've found that these always match the turbine and electric turbine. Again, this is where the steam comes in. This is where the electricity goes out, and they're kind of bolted together, sort of. And then there's just a drive, a shaft, a pole that runs through them and connects them. One turns the other. Generators fine. Batteries fine. Of course, we haven't been using them. Those are good. Pressurizer heaters, those are fine. I don't know when the price rises. We'll check and see right quick in a second here. Resistor banks are looking good. They haven't really moved much, which I'm surprised at. They used to be one of the heaviest wear, but your power transformers, right? So that one is now above 10%. It'll show up on our maintenance options. Iron column, right? We've used a little bit of it when we pulled out some of that boron. So when this gets too low, we'd have to clean it out. Dosing pump, everything looks fine. Very light wear on all of those. And everything else looks really good. So if I go back to my maintenance, yep, there's my transformer. Has been put on there, very cheap. The price hasn't changed here yet, so I might actually do that now and demonstrate how I do that. So we will turn the thermostat off, heater off. I'm going to pulse it up. I'm going to get it up to about 175. In the old patches, the temperature would rise, and then it would. Well, I guess you can determine how fast it rises with this selector here, but it would fall very fast. And so I guess it's be interesting to see what happens. So we've turned it off, and we're going to have AO go do that maintenance now. It says 30 minutes. It'll take more. Look, we're at 1732. He's not going to finish at 1802. So and we'll watch and see how far down that goes. So we'll just let it go and see how close we get. Right here, we're about where we wanted to be. Fairly close. So we'll check our next service hour. It's going to jump probably to 16, which means we're going to bump this up again to 20 and 154. We should hopefully be able to stay at 10 here on our primary, but we'll find out. So already down to 166, 165. 150 is much less, and I don't think AO's gotten there. I just heard the doors. Oh, he has gotten there, so he started working on it now. So he got there fairly quickly. Hopefully it won't take too much longer. Yes, this falls, I'm going to say slower, cools off slower than before. One of the moderators or helpers was... One of the helpers said, or moderators said, that you can keep this temperature up by artificially pumping in hot water from the core, and I think that's through the cooling valve. I haven't ever tried it. I don't necessarily want to right now. So 150 is ideal, so we're starting to get below the ideal point. We're going to slow things down so I can bring this up. Let's check on AO. How close is he to finishing? Not too far off, so that'll be fine. And we just got to watch for it. We won't hear it. His little message come up here, so I got to kind of pay attention. So we're going to bump this up for the increase. And again, we're going to watch our steam outlet here. If this should get to 40, because I have that set to 4. This is 10 times that number. If it doesn't, if it were to stop at 34, I know I'm not producing enough steam, so I would need to increase heat, the heat transfer using my primary coolant pump to send more heat over here, build more pressure, so that I get that back pressure there. So it looks like it's rising to it just fine. Won't have any issues. This should get there also, maybe. Yep, there it is. So you see we're a little over. I'm okay with that. That should come down, unless that's a rounding error. But we're not getting yellow box, so still within where it needs to be. Okay, so he's almost finished. How low did we get? 144, not terrible. What was it? Not great, not terrible. Famous line. Diet Love, remember you forever. And AO. I guess I can speed time up. Okay, so now he's done. So you don't even hear it. He just says it, or he just it just a text at the screen. So we'll bring that back up, and now, well, I guess he won't do a maintenance report, but it's off of our. Whoa! It's already started taking. Oh man, look at that. Seconds, and it's already back on our list. So notice that it has an integrity or health bar only, no wear value. A lot of them have wear values. Pressurizers don't. They're one of a handful that don't. So they take direct damage, if you were to think of it that way. Okay, we'll go back to skipping and come back in a little while. Oh wait, shouldn't our, it's 1800 hours. Shouldn't our turbine be here and be getting installed? No! Bad weather! Ah. Okay, we might have to skip a whole day. Okay, well, see you when I see you. Welcome back, everybody. While you were gone, I watched a movie on Netflix while this whole day passed. Good news, we have good weather. So our items were able to ship out. I also, while you were gone, while this was paused, I made a couple of purchases. I went ahead and topped off our oil and our fuel. I did go check oil levels. This patch, supposedly it's supposed to, the oil, or maybe it's the hydraulic fluid now that I think about it. Anyway, one of the two is supposed to fluctuate and do stuff. And so I went to check some of the oil levels. On the pumps, they looked unchanged. So that's not a big thing. But anyway, so purchased a couple other things. We have plenty of prestige points. Our turbine is currently under construction now, and when we come back, we should be ready to fire it up and let it go and do its thing. So I also purchased another fuel core, because I only have the one installed, and they're a little expensive, and I purchased more control rods. So we have 2 sets of empty control rods now. We have 1 extra fuel core, and yeah, so we'll wait for this to be finished. I've just been monitoring and managing the demand. Otherwise, things have been really quiet. I did have AO do another maintenance check So it looks like our turbines are at the point where we could do maintenance on them, which is nice. So we'll shut those down, do the maintenance, and do the real deal. So I let this go below 90, so it went up by a little bit more expensive. But anyway, we'll need to do our transformer, a slew of things. So we'll come back when it's all ready to do that good stuff. Okay, welcome back. So in about 30 game minutes, our turbine should finish construction. It should be ready to go. And what I'm going to do when that happens, actually, I'm going to have AO start his, turn him on, have him do an updated check now. I'm going to run through my list because I'm going to do it almost instantly. Once that's up, actually, no, I'm not. I take that back. But we'll have to prime all the pumps and everything first. So that's what we're going to do before we, which I totally forgot, but before we shut down or do a loop swap. Also, as soon as that other loop is installed, my demand's going to double. It'll be much, much higher, and I'm going to have to react with my first loop till I can get it up and running. Because of that, what I've done is while I was paused, the recording was paused, I went ahead and made some more purchases. And I got everything that I would need for a third loop. The reason for that is with these higher demands, the jumps are bigger. And with the kind of output jumping every 4 megawatts with my method, sometimes that's easier to do with 2 loops running. You can leave one at a base and move it up, or just move the 2 loops up slightly instead of one making a giant jump. Anyway, it's a little easier, I found, in gameplay outside of doing these videos. So I went ahead and purchased another second loop. I also purchased another resistor bank and resistors for it, plus 2 more, so I could have 4 on hand in case I ever blow out a set of resistor banks. And then I bought another turbine, the class 3, the upgraded one. Everything else is class A. Or I guess class C. I say class 3, whatever. This is the upgraded one, class C. Everything else is class A. And we'll do upgrades in another video. But we'll go ahead and wait until it's installed, and we'll come back and we're going to prime all of our pumps.